Hi there.
Tony Bashara.
Hi, Tony. Nice to meet you.
How are you? Have a seat.
Doing well, thank you.
So you were promoted then twice?
1, 2, correct.
The biggest mistake in the interviewing process is that candidates forget to sell themselves the fact that you were promoted. You need to say that.
I didn't look into their background.
I can't tell you the number of times that I've seen candidates go into interviews having done no research about the company they're interviewing with.
As soon as I was in, I realized, uh-oh.
Another big mistake is that candidates talk about what they've done in the past and stories about where they've been, but they don't really sell features, advantages, and benefits.
I put my name out there and let them know that I was available.
One of the biggest mistakes that Terry made is he had cologne on. Ugh, it was on my hand when I was through shaking it. It was awful. This is an interview, not a date. There are some of my clients that would be interested in hiring Terry, but not if he interviews the way he did today.
What did he do so bad in this interview specifically?
Well, first of all, he didn't sell a structured interview on what makes Terry good.
Well, give us an example of what he should have done.
The last place I was at, I doubled their sales. I increased the bottom line 52%. He didn't give any specifics as to what he had done for the other people. Look, all employers want to know is, what are you going to do for me? And the way you communicate that is, this is what I've done for others. But you need to know that going in.
Tony has put together a list of some of the biggest mistakes people make on their resumes. Number one, writing the wrong content. What do you mean?
Yeah, they write content that means something to them instead of to a prospective employer. So you get the resume and you look at it and the employer doesn't know what the heck they've written. Their titles are all wrong. It's got to mean something to the person you are writing it to, not you.
All right, so distracting formats, what does that mean?
Fonts and garbage and colors and big full pages of nothing but objective. Average resume gets read in 10 seconds. They want to know, what have you done, who did you work for, and how successful you were, and if that doesn't hit them right in the mouth, they throw it away.
I see a lot of resumes, and there's always an objective section up there that, you know, I want to create world peace.
I want to rule the world, right?
So you don't even put that on a resume?
No, I don't recommend it unless you're in a very narrow, specific kind of technology or engineering, something where you've customized the resume to the particular job. But for the most part, get that off of it.
Tony marked your resume up. Let's take a look at how he marked it up. Okay, take us through it, Tony.
Yeah, you don't need an objective. Those qualifications are junk. You have on there things like team player, adaptable. I mean, integrity, of course. What are you going to put on a resume? I don't have integrity with the other guy. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's junk. You describe your jobs. You don't say, this is what I did and this is how successful we were. And you told me in the interview that you were able to increase their business 42%. You don't have that on there.
It basically doesn't really tell us anything about him. And that, as an employer, would make me suspicious.
If you get a resume like that, you're going to pitch it.
You make a great point in your book about that you've got to reinvent yourself. You don't think that just because you've been an engineer that that's all you can do. You can take those skills and remarket them somewhere else.
Yeah, and you need to think about that. I think the most important thing is people just don't realize how many interviews they have to get in order to get hired and all of the effort that goes into. Cold call if you have to, kiss every frog in the pond, and if you don't find a prince there, find another pond. You gotta just keep out there in front of people and keep the process going.
Now, Tony Bashara has a really fantastic 45-hour online course called The Job Search Solution, and it's at www.thejobsearchsolution.com.